Rick also has a baby mother who's currently working as a call girl. He has a daughter by Brooke.
I kicked Rick ass. Kicked Rick Ross' ass, right?
50, who own your masters? Who own your masters? I buy your masters. You better shut up. I will buy your masters.
I'm deciding to f your life up. Rick Ross, I'm gonna f your life up. For fun. Did you know Rick, while he was working in law enforcement?
He was a correction officer.
So we're clear he was a correctional officer.
Yes, he was.
Rick Ross spent years pretending like nothing could shake him, but his baby mama just dropped a bomb. He's actually been scared of 50 Cent this whole time, and trust, it's way deeper than anyone ever imagined. This is the same guy who made a whole career out of calling himself the boss, but behind closed doors, he's been losing sleep over one man he couldn't get rid of, 50 Cent. And when Ross finally fired back, it wasn't just to save face, it was survival mode, the way 50 came for him, ruthless. He didn't just come for his image, he came for Ross's entire foundation, and somehow Ross still managed to stay on his feet. It all kicked off with one simple look. Yep, just a look. At the 2008 BET Awards, Ross caught 50's eye, or at least he thought he did, and just like that, it was on. But here's the wild part. 50 Cent later said he didn't even remember seeing Rick Ross that night. I don't even know what he's talking about, 50 said. But Ross, he took that like it was a slap in the face. And in hip-hop, disrespect like that might as well be a shot fired.
Ross and 50, they've had a long-standing beef for years. And I think this Rick Ross beef is the one beef that 50 will never let go of.
Back then, Rick Ross was sitting pretty. He had 2 platinum albums, his boss image was solid, and he felt unstoppable. But when he thought 50 gave him a dirty look, something inside him snapped. Some say it was just ego. Others think he was chasing clout. Whatever it was, he set his sights on one of the most savage guys in the game, and that was a dangerous bet. See, Ross thought he could stir up some beef and boost his name by dragging 50 into the mix, but he seriously miscalculated. 50 Cent wasn't just gonna trade bars, he was about to rip Ross apart from every angle. And let's be real, Ross had no clue who he was messing with.
Is there anything about Ross and his career that you have any respect for?
Oh, no, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. I never wanted to work with him. You know, look, I understand from a perspective of someone who's just listening to what it sounds like.
Okay, I mean, he's a great rapper.
But does it matter that he's a correctional officer? Does that ever matter? Does it matter? Even when artists, look at the irony of the artists that come under.
So Meek.
Right.
Wale.
Prison reform. And all of the wrongfully convicted and wrongfully treated people in the prison system.
That little stare down at the awards, it turned into an all-out war. Ross thought he was making a bold move, but he accidentally poked the wrong bear. 50 didn't just clap back, he went nuclear. And from that moment on, things would never be the same for Rick Ross. Ross didn't just toss a little shade in an interview, nah, he went for the kill with mafia music. In the track, he took a savage shot at one of the darkest chapters in 50 Cent's life. He threw in a cold line about the house fire that nearly took out 50's ex, Shaniqua Tompkins, and their son, Marquise. It wasn't even subtle, it was icy and personal. On the surface, it might sound like just another rap diss, but everyone in the game knew what Ross was doing. He was hinting at something serious, something 50 had already been accused of. Shaniqua had publicly blamed 50 for that fire, which tore through the entire house while 6 people were inside. No one was hurt, but the damage, major. And Ross? He took that tragedy and flipped it into a lyrical jab. Ross didn't care. He jumped headfirst into the controversy and made sure the whole world saw it. And 50, he wasn't about to let that slide. The response came fast, but Ross wasn't finished stirring the pot. He started talking reckless, walking around like he already won the beef, claiming the crown, flexing like he ran the whole game. But one thing you never do, underestimate 50 Cent when it comes to war. 50 wasn't about to reply with just a verse or two. Nah, he was about to destroy Rick Ross's entire image. That's when he started digging, and what he uncovered, game changer.
Hey, say what the f you want about 50 Cent, but I swear this man pettiness is uncanny. Like this nigga I feel it's everybody's alter ego.
Out of nowhere, 50 pulled out receipts, real ones. Turns out the self-proclaimed boss, Rick Ross, used to be a correctional officer. That one fact hit harder than any diss track. Ross had spent years selling an image of a kingpin who clawed his way up from the streets, but 50 pulled the curtain all the way back. He dropped the photos like bombs. Ross in full uniform, working the prison system. Fans were shook. The man who rapped about moving weight and running the block, turns out he was pushing paperwork, not bricks. 50 didn't just clap back. He cracked Ross's whole brand wide open, but 50 Cent wasn't done. He took it way deeper. He went straight to the source, Rick Ross's own baby mama, Tia Kemp. And let's just say, she did not hold back. She linked up with 50 and aired out Ross's dirty laundry like it was laundry day in the middle of the block.
It's sort of embarrassing to me, you know, because as you listen to his raps, you would definitely believe him, but I mean, it was surprising that he would sit there and say he spends $200 a month on food, $300 a month on clothes. His jewelry is rented.
According to Tia, Ross was living a lie. She claimed he wasn't the flashy boss he pretended to be. He was leasing luxury cars, rocking rented jewelry, and flexing a lifestyle that was all smoke and mirrors.
At least he don't know where the money came from to put a down payment on a $1 million home. And, you know, it's just sad, you know, and I just want to prove the facts today here on This Is 50. It's all real, coming from Tia.
He ain't living like that, she basically said. Everything the man rapped about, it was just lyrics, not real life. But that wasn't even the biggest blow. 50 turned things all the way up.
Who's currently working as a call girl. He has a daughter by Brooke, right there. Can you see that? This is like the adult. This is like where you can find really exclusive whores.
Tia didn't just talk. She backed up the correctional officer rumors, adding more fuel to a fire Ross couldn't put out.
He stepped down from the position. And I asked him about it. You know, of course he denied it, which his sister confirmed it and told me that he was a correction officer. And, you know, that's what.
Then 50 did what Ross wouldn't dare do. He took Tia on a full-on shopping spree just to rub it in. Bags, shoes, clothes. He spoiled her just to embarrass Ross even more. And if that wasn't cold enough, 50 pulled the ultimate disrespect. He took Ross's own son on a flashy Vegas trip with Floyd Mayweather. They were living it up, snapping pics, having the time of their lives, all over social media. Meanwhile, Ross, silent, no clapback, no tweets, just quiet. And by then it was too late. Those images had already gone viral. 50 locked in one of the most savage moments in hip-hop beef history. But then 50 messed up. He crossed a line that even fans couldn't defend. He leaked a private tape involving Ross's other baby mama, Lastonia Leviston, and that move backfired big time. She hit him with a lawsuit for emotional distress, and the court didn't play. She won $5 million. That hit 50 in the pocket so hard, he had to file for bankruptcy. For the first time in this entire beef, 50 Cent actually took an L. Meanwhile, Ross, he kept dropping tracks like nothing happened. And funny enough, fans slowly stopped caring about the Officer Ricky talk. The music kept bumping and Ross just kept moving. Fast forward a bit, and just when it seemed like this beef had finally cooled off, Tia Kemp popped back up like she was never done. She hit Instagram Live with zero filter and made it loud and clear. Rick Ross is still scared of 50 Cent. Why? Because 50 knows too much, Tia said. And she wasn't whispering, she was ready to air it all out. Tia claimed Ross was hiding some deep, dark secrets, the kind that could shake up his whole image if they ever got out. She didn't spill every detail, but the way she talked, it sounded like the drama could go way beyond rap beef, and that's when things got extra messy. Out of nowhere, an old photo from 2009 started making rounds online. It was Tia's Smooth magazine cover shoot. Now, baby mama thirst traps aren't exactly new in this game, but this one, it hit different. Not because of what she was wearing, but because of who was behind the camera. That's right, 50 Cent himself was the man snapping the shots. Ross's biggest enemy was casually playing photographer for his baby mama, like it was some personal art project. In the cover photo, Tia's straddling above 50 in just black lace panties, a glittery see-through top, and bright red heels. Meanwhile, 50's laid out below her on the floor with a retro camera, looking real comfortable aiming it right at her. And just when you think it couldn't get more disrespectful, the Smooth magazine headline twisted the knife even deeper. The subheading? Where's the beef? And guess who was listed as guest editor? 50 Cent. Yeah, he introduced Rick Ross's baby mama to the world, his way. Like, not only did 50 help her score that magazine moment, but he made sure Ross knew exactly who orchestrated it all. Even now, years later, these two still find ways to sneak in jabs and low blows. This beef ain't over, it just keeps evolving. The latest twist in this wild saga, Rick Ross linked up with Big Meech after he got out of prison, and 50 Cent was livid. Why? Because 50 is the executive producer of the BMF TV series, and to him, Ross cozying up to Meech was pure betrayal. He didn't stay quiet either. He jumped straight on Instagram and posted a giant rat with the caption, "I think I'm Big Meech." The shade was loud, but it didn't stop there. In that same post, 50 made it real clear who he thought Meech had really messed up by cutting off: Tammy Cowens. Never heard of her? You're not alone. Tammy used to be Meech's assistant and business partner back in the day. But here's the bombshell. She allegedly flipped and became an FBI informant. That's right. Snitch rumors were flying and 50 was throwing everyone under the bus. And guess who was watching it all unfold with popcorn? Ross. Instead of playing it cool, he jumped right into the mess, laughing at how pressed 50 was over a simple picture.
Nigga took a picture with Rick Ross. You like a nigga, put your back against the wall and just slide.
That photo of Ross and Meech together? It triggered all kinds of drama. The back and forth never seems to end with these two. But let's be real, there's one person who might love roasting Ross even more than 50 does, and that's Tia Kemp. She slid right into the chaos, dragging Ross into Diddy's freak-off party scandal. According to Tia, Ross wasn't just at the parties, he was allegedly involved in the same shady stuff that got Diddy slapped with serious federal charges tied to trafficking.
Like the fucking Diddy do the parties. I mean, that's another thing. When is we gonna see you over there with Sean Cup?
Tia wasn't mincing words. She straight up told Ross to check on your friend, throwing mad shade at those old parties and the weird social media bromance Ross had with Diddy.
Don't give dog a fucking hug like I said. He was on his nuts. Oh, that fucking year, you and Callie, big fat. Callie, your fat ass go out there cut your yard trying to go viral like Will with no shoes on. Boy, we know goddamn you ain't cutting nothing but a fucking tomahawk.
And that wasn't even the first time she clowned him. Tia had already hit Instagram Live, calling Ross out for staying silent while Diddy's drama unfolded.
Don't be scared now. No Diddy, huh? You scared now, huh? I know y'all on them tapes. Freaky. I know you is. 10 churn have. It's time to show them churns now. I ain't gonna let off you.
She didn't just rant, she came with receipts and started naming names.
8 o'clock, this tea right here. Renee says you wanna stay keeping up? We finna talk about some real tea.
Then she went even darker. Tia dropped claims that Ross himself had been involved in putting hits on people. She didn't stutter, and she wasn't backing down.
Brother over there paying people to put hits out. He over there paying people to put hits out. And he's running off with his money. And it's getting back to me. So now I'm finna send the feds over there to y'all motherfucking empire. See, you had the right bitch today, ho.
If what she's saying has any truth to it, Ross might be caught up in way more than just rap beef. Tia Kemp's next move? She's threatening to blow the whistle for real. And this time she's saying she might bring federal authorities straight to Rick Ross's front door. But just when fans thought the drama couldn't get any darker, Tia dropped something that had everyone's jaws on the floor. She brought up a murder. Tia name-dropped someone called Ms. Carroll and strongly implied that Ross, or at least people close to him, might be connected to her tragic death.
We gonna talk about Miss Carroll. Y'all know who Miss Carroll is. You know that's behind your brother. I'm finna make sure her family sue y'all whole estate. because that case is not closed.
She said Ms. Carroll was killed shortly after leaving her mom's house, and the word on the street is that the situation was tied to Ross's circle. Tia even mentioned another man who was shot right in front of a spot called Black House, hinting again that Ross's crew might have been involved. The vibe turned real heavy.
He finna dig up a whole bunch of motherfucking maggots right now, ho. I'm not finna play with you, you Ozempic bitch.
And then came the episode of Reha Please, where Tia really started laying it all out. First things first, she said she's been locked in co-parenting chaos with Ross for 18 years, and she's done with the nonsense.
18 years of the back and forth. If, people that's been around, no.
Imagine raising a son while the other parent keeps vanishing and popping back up like it's some kind of twisted game of hide and seek. That's what Tia's been dealing with. She's not just chasing clout, she's fed up and ready to expose everything. Tia says it's not just about rap beef or flashy headlines anymore. This is about years of silence, games, and dirty family secrets. And now, she's bringing receipts. Tia claims Ross has way more kids out there than people even know about. She hinted he's out here moving wild.
I'm getting that. I don't need your fucking check. It wasn't even about your check. You didn't have that when I met you. So my baby wasn't a check baby. All of the 9 or 10 kids you got now, those are check babies.
She got 10 kids now?
Oh yeah, y'all didn't know that? See, he only acknowledged toy or whatever y'all know about, whatever y'all could Google, but girl, it's about 9 or 10 children.
Fathering children with women across the map, including one with a Russian woman that nobody talks about. She's hinting that Ross has been keeping skeletons stacked in the closet, and she's ready to start swinging that door wide open.
Talking about Drake, girl, he got one that looked just like Drake from a Russian woman. I can't wait till he put that one out there. What you waiting on, fat back?
This isn't just drama anymore. It's starting to sound like a full-blown investigation waiting to happen. But this whole mess ain't just about Ross being a father. It's about how he moves as one. According to Tia, Ross is more into flexing his power and feeding his ego than actually showing up for their son. In a convo with Young Miami, Tia spilled that Ross once tried to send their son off to some random college in Mississippi, just so he could say he handled things without being involved in the real parenting.
You imagine having a parent that's, been in and out, being supportive at one point and not being supportive, and you just in the middle of things. You have done nothing. Regardless of what me and Ross' issues are, he's not supposed to take that out on my son. And for years, he has been using Lil Will as a scapegoat because he know that's the only thing can hurt me.
Tia didn't hold back when she talked about the pain of raising a kid who's growing up in the public eye. Their son is now off at an HBCU, but back in high school, he had to deal with stuff no teen should. Tia shared how he had to face his classmates and explain why his dad, Rick Ross, didn't show up to his own graduation. Imagine that. The same dad who used to cheer him on at football games couldn't even be there for one of the biggest milestones of his life.
I had a father that was there throughout the past couple years of his high school football games.
Mm-hmm.
Why you couldn't make it to his high school graduation?
Mm-hmm.
You could have stood on the other side of the auditorium.
Mm-hmm. And you think that was because of you?
Of course. It's to trigger me in some certain way, make him feel a certain way.
Tia said straight up, her son didn't just miss a parent that day, he missed a father. And the pain from that cuts deep. Tia opened up about how both of them felt let down. But what really hits her the hardest is seeing Ross use their son as a pawn every time the drama flares back up. It's not about love, it's about leverage. And don't even get her started on Ross's sister, Renee. If the drama with Ross is intense, the smoke Tia's got for Renee is on another level.
It's in the middle of everything because she handle everything for Will. Mm-hmm. So Will listen to a lot of things that Renee says. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Renee is a bitter person because she's never had a man to not do anything for her.
She claimed Renee's been meddling in their business from day one, always stirring the pot, always in the middle, never minding her lane. Tia made it clear she's got zero respect for her.
Be honest with you. She's always been in our business and just not happy for her brother. And I just don't have no respect for that. She know what I have done for her brother and I've been there. It's not about money, fame, or any of that. She knows that her brother has a heart for me, and she can't take that because a man has never did what her brother is doing for other women.
Tia even brought up an incident where she got into it with one of Ross's other baby mamas, something that led to child neglect accusations being thrown around. It was messy, loud, and way too real.
Neglect with no intent to harm, battery on her, and aggravated battery to deadly weapon because she was trying to exit the gate of the development that I stayed in. And the car, to make her stop, got out. We got into a fight, and I went to jail. Lil Will was in the back seat. He wasn't nothing but a year old, so they took me to jail and gave me child neglect with no intent to harm because I left him in the car to get out the car to fight her.
After 18 years of holding it in for the sake of peace, Tia said she's done. No more keeping quiet, no more protecting anyone's image. Now it's all coming out. Tia Kemp didn't just spill the tea, she lit the whole kettle on fire, and when Rick Ross tried to shut her up with cease and desist letters, threatening her with legal action, she straight up laughed it off. Tia told Ross to take those legal threats and shove them. She's not backing down.
And back and forth and inconsistency with co-parenting and me being quiet and saying, screw this, let me do what I gotta do for my child. And then saying, bunk this, I'm being disrespected. Being disrespected. Love. You know what I mean? Because you can be loved all day, but being disrespected in the midst of love is one thing. You know what I'm saying? So it just got to a point to where I just said enough was enough.
By the time Ross even tried to clap back, the damage was already done. The internet had already gone into detective mode, connecting dots left and right. And let's be real, it started looking real bad for Ross. People started digging deep, asking the real questions. What else is Rick Ross hiding? Are there darker secrets buried in his past?
All heterosexual. Don't nobody say that. Nigga, we know what it is. Y'all motherfuckers mad at me. Let me tell you something. If Rick Ross watching this, let me tell you something. Stop hiring drivers. Drivers always tell on you. I know what happened at LAX with that boy.
And that's
my...
Was 50 Cent actually the one who won this whole beef?
You lost your shoe deal because of me?
Yes.
It's because you a cop, Rick. Nobody likes the cops, Rick. It's not my fault.
Boss.
Or did Ross somehow manage to keep standing through all the chaos?
Struggling making that G-Unit film studio out there in Louisiana where that cheapest land at. You thought you was going to be able to do it. You thought you was going to be able to get them loans and it ain't. What's wrong? What's taking so long? I know you want to make your mama one of them walking stars thing. Put down there how your mama live. Make her own walking star. Don't leave Louisiana. Don't quit like that because you showed the picture of how you wanted it to look. We call it renderings. You had the renderings, then you try to go get them loans and ain't nobody loan you that money. You ain't even built the G-Unit studio yet. That might be why when I stood next to Meech, your knees buckled. Your knees buckled. Put your back against the wall. Po nigga. You're po hustler. 50, who own your masters? Who own your masters? I buy your masters. You better shut up. I will buy your masters.
And the biggest question of them all, what does 50 Cent know that we don't? Because let's not forget, 50's always 5 steps ahead. If he's holding something back, you can bet it's explosive. Ross might be trying to act unbothered now, but behind the scenes, that pressure looks heavy. One thing's for sure, this story, it's far from over. Tia's not done, 50's still watching, and the internet is hungry for answers. So if you thought this was crazy, you haven't seen anything yet, we've got more drama, more receipts, and even more shocking twists coming your way. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe because we're just getting started with this saga. Now check out the video you see on the screen. It's even spicier than this one. See you on the next one.